Hello, my name is Eric, and this is going to be a short tutorial on how to use Microsoft PowerShell commandlets with Microsoft SharePoint. Microsoft PowerShell was introduced around 2006, and SharePoint commandlets were introduced into SharePoint 2007, and have recently gotten updates for SharePoint 2010 and SharePoint 2013. Now, in order to use these commands, you have to use Microsoft SharePoint's specific command shell. If you don't have this either on your start menu or on your taskbar, simply search SharePoint, if I can spell, and you'll find the SharePoint 2013 management shell. Open that, and you get this. Now, if you've worked with SharePoint before, you probably know that working with permissions is like 70% of the job, at least if you're doing administration. So this is no different with the SharePoint management shell. You have to have a credential known as the SP shell admin. And as you can see, there are currently 2 users that are the SP shell admin. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those users. And if I try to add myself as a SP shell admin, it would error out and say you need to have bigger permissions. Luckily, I'm an administrator account on the machine, so all I need to do is open up the SharePoint management shell as administrator. And from there, once it loads, I can add myself as an SP shell admin. And if I get the SP shell admin, as you can see, I'm now one of them. In Microsoft PowerShell in general, you'll notice that there is a specific syntax that most PowerShell commandlets follow, and that is a verb that acts on a noun. As you can see here, the 2 commands that we used, and here is a third that we didn't use, but this is still acts upon it. And this pretty much allows you to apply, so you don't have to go back to your documentation every single time to go, all right, what is this specific command for adding a shell admin or removing a shell admin? Let's work with piping. Piping is a very important piece in PowerShell, as it is used to take one command's output and pipe it to the next command. Everything flows from that command to the next command. So let's use this with get SP alternate URL, and let's pipe it to a select so we only get 1 column. As you can see, when I use get SP alternate URL by itself, I get 3 columns: the incoming URL, the zone, and the public URL. Maybe I just want to see the incoming URL. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that command. We are going to use the pipe icon, which is using the shift above your enter, and we're going to pipe that to select. What select does is it selects 1, 2, or 3 of the columns, that any number of columns that you want to use. So for example, if I wanted to do select incoming URL and public URL, it will just display those 2. If I want to see just incoming URL, I just put that by itself. If a pipe won't do it for you, if you have multiple variables that you have to stick into one command, or you want to be able to store variables, there's a way to do this within Microsoft PowerShell. And it's very similar to using JavaScript. What you do is you put a $, and you type in the name of your variable, then you an equal, and then you run the command that you want to do. For example, I'm going to do get SP app domain. As you can see, that's fine. And if I type in SP app, I get the output that was stored in the variable from get SP app domain. You can do this multiple times, and you can even use this in place of using these commands, which makes things very much simpler when you're putting together scripts. Say you're running a command that has a lot of output that you want to be able to analyze in a text editor, or a command that runs at a time that you're not in the office and you want to be able to send it to a file for debug purposes. PowerShell allows this by using a direction modifier. So for example, let's run get SP alternate URL again. As you can see, everything is automatically directed to the console. If the console automatically disappears afterwards, you're not going to be able to see this. So what we're going to do is we're going to run a command. In that command, we are going to still use sp alternate URL, but we are going to use two greater than signs to indicate that we are sending it to a file. I've already entered in the path that I want to send it to, which is my desktop. Well, if we hit enter, we can see that a file shows up on our desktop. We're going to open that in Notepad, and as you can see, all of the stuff that was going into the console automatically goes into a document. If there was a lot of this, I'd be able to scroll down and analyze or search for specific parameters that I want to analyze. Anyway, that concludes this basic overview of Microsoft SharePoint's app commandlets. I hope this really helped to give you a basic idea of how to use Microsoft PowerShell in conjunction with SharePoint 2013 commandlets. If you have any questions, leave a comment below, and I will try to get back to you on that one. Have a good day.